Bitcoin. Is the selling almost over? Is the end almost here for this sell-off? Can we resume up-only season in the not-so-distant future? Fingers crossed. I'm going to break some of those ideas down with you, talk about what's been going on behind the scenes, talk about the risks, of course, still remaining in the market, looking at some of the technicals and stuff like that. And, of course, I want to talk about the big daddy airdrop coming up, Jupiter, the new thing coming on Solana. We'll be talking about that, my plans around that airdrop. Also, big shout out to CoinLedger for sponsoring today's live stream. More on that in a minute. So let's dive straight into the topic here. Let's not waste any time. Let's talk Bitcoin. So, interesting things happening on the charts here. I want to take a quick look at this first. Look, we have had a bullish crossover on the daily MACD here. Last time we had one of those, when it was so deeply below the zero line, it's a long time ago. It's back here in August 28th. Think about that. Think about that powerful indicator showing right here on the charts right now. The last time we had this kind of bullish MACD crossover was a long time ago. Many, many moons ago, my friends. And the price back then, of course, very, very different. Look here. $25,000 was the last time we had a bullish MACD crossover. Could always be a fake out. Can always go lower in the MACD. Okay, let's just keep that real, keep that straight. Okay, obviously. But it's still pretty damn interesting, isn't it? I like it. I like the look of it. Looks pretty hot if you ask me. I dig it. So, where are we at right now with the price of Bitcoin? Over $40,000. That's nice. We had a nice bounce here at the 100-day exponential moving average. Right now, we are coming up against this trend line. Need to cross back over that. Just sitting barely on the 50-day EMA as support. We need to see bulls step up the pace a little bit here. Get a little bit of positive price momentum coming in to help us buck the downtrend that we've been in here. Look, there is still a chance we go down and retest lower levels. This could just be that dead cat bounce before we see a lower price. So don't get too excited too quickly, okay? Let's keep that in mind, please. Still, though, very interesting situation we're looking at right now in the charts. If the MACD holds, if we hold above these EMAs, particularly the 100-day, but also the 50-day, be nice to hold above, and of course, crack back above that trend line. And there's a lot of things coming together that say, ooh, that's interesting. So long as they don't blow the damn world up again, obviously. Now, look, we tend not to talk about, politics and all kinds of other hot button political issues, from gender and all that kind of fun stuff on this channel. We're here to make money. We're here to talk about cryptocurrencies. However, one thing, and look, I don't want to dive into the politics behind why the USA even has military bases in the Middle East, let alone all the crazy crap that's been going on there between Iran and Israel. And oh my gosh. My thought is this, why we're talking about this, why I even mention this, okay? If cooler heads do not prevail, if the USA were to directly target Iran, I mean, it would just be so crazy, wouldn't it? Because it'd be a black swan level event, so to speak. I mean, it's kind of predictable because, politics are the way they are, but remember, back in 2020, we had this big sell-off as a result of what? The COVID scare, the pandemic. What if we have a massive sell-off because of the war? If they really do ramp up war with Iran, which would be crazy to do. But, they've done crazier things, so why would we be surprised? This is important because Iran's not Afghanistan. Okay, this is one of the biggest oil-producing countries in the world. This is a country that has the potential to shut down the Persian Gulf, which shuts down oil transportation, which shuts down the global economy, okay? Shuts down major shipping lanes. Like, there's a lot of chaos that can happen here. Obviously, again, we don't want any of this to happen, but this is how you can see a potential chaos event happening in the market. Let's hope cooler heads prevail. Come on, guys. Let's all just make money here. Why do we have to have all this kind of crazy stuff going on, man? Let's just chill out. Can somebody just tell all these people to chill out, man? Musician's live saying, is a black swan or a white swan? Or I don't know. It's one of those swans, man. Screw swans. How about that? I actually kind of like swans. Swans are nice. I mean, they're, quite pretty animals. They're funny though. You ever see a swan, trying to feed off the bottom, put the butt up in the air? Like, Swans. Anyway, here's interesting stuff for you. Enough with that, but that's just, like something to keep in the back of your mind. I don't like fear and FUD and everything's terrible. No, just, hey, look, something worth keeping in mind, okay? If that happens, expect chaos. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it does, expect chaos in markets. Markets will not react very favorably to that in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll just say, hey, great, war's here, fantastic. Let's pump the markets to new highs. It's always that. Markets can be very irrational. Anyway, BlackRock has been increasing their spot Bitcoin ETF volume. Grayscale's volume has been decreasing, aka, let me translate for you. Less sell pressure from Grayscale dumping their Bitcoin, more buy pressure from BlackRock buying Bitcoin. And again, I really think it's super important to continue to point this out, to continue to beat the drum here, because with the Bitcoin ETF stuff, there has been more inflows than outflows from Grayscale. And not all the Grayscale outflows went to cash. Some of those went to other Bitcoin ETFs. So it's been a net positive so far, a net positive. Big time, actually, but we're talking tens of thousands of Bitcoin in the net positive. But Grayscale does still have some Bitcoin. It's not quite over yet. I mean, they still got 500,000 coins, guys. A few bankruptcies probably to still flood out of that. And whatever happened to Three Arrows Capital, didn't they have a bunch of GBTC? I feel like they did. Maybe I'm wrong. Look, still a lot of chaos and come on. JP Morgan, though, out here saying that the GBT selling is largely over. Do we believe them? They say profit taking on GBTC should be largely behind us, limiting any downside for Bitcoin from here. They had previously estimated around $3 billion of likely profit taking on GBTC's discount to NAV trade, i.e. around 3/4 of GBTC's outflows since its conversion to an ETF. Using this assumption, and given $4.3 billion has come out already from GBTC, we must conclude that GBTC profit taking has largely happened already. In turn, this would imply that most of the downward pressure on Bitcoin from that channel should be largely behind us. Interesting. Hey, are they going to be right or not? I have no idea. JP Morgan is a market manipulator, an agent of chaos, but still interesting. Food for thought, right? I know GBTC, Grayscale, they still have 500,000 coins. 500,000 coins, huge amount. But we are nearing a slowdown anyway. Not all this Bitcoin's going to leave. A lot of Bitcoin's just going to stay there because they don't want taxable events or whatever it might be. They just throw ride it. 1.5% fees suck. But this was what Grayscale was always banking on. You have to understand this. When you look at the Bitcoin ETFs, you have to ask yourself the question, why in the hell would Grayscale leave their fees at 1.5%? Isn't everybody just going to run away? Well, some people are going to run away. But their calculation was that most people won't, because they don't want to incur a taxable event. So there you go. There you go. A lot of people, a lot of these guys are trapped currently in Grayscale. Not trapped, right? But they would rather pay the 1.5% a year for the next year or 2 years or 3 years, let their Bitcoin go up another 200, 300, 400%, and then pay the tax on it. My thought anyway. It's a lot of variables in there. And of course, Grayscale is one of the biggest owners of GBTC. So there's that too to consider. But maybe we're finally seeing a slowdown in this pressure, which would be a good thing if that's the case. Bitcoin surged over 5% after Grayscale outflows fell almost 50%, meaning that it does have a very quick and noticeable impact. Also, we have whales buying, as pointed out by Mickey Bull here. The amount of Bitcoin accumulated over the past few days by whales isn't something to be ignored despite the selling pressure. Well, whales are generally pretty clever. Whales tend to buy when it's selling, when the Bitcoin's selling off, when the prices are down, they tend to sell when the prices are high. Not rocket science, guys. Buy low, sell high. That's what they do. I want to share this one as well from Neste. Said this is a sequence that happens all the time in a corrective section. The A wave takes out the low of the fourth wave. So this is the A wave here. That's the fourth wave there. Essentially, let me break all that down for you. The B wave is a dead cat. Essentially, right now, we are at stage A, moving towards stage B in this pattern. And then a C wave retests the lower second of the motive wave, aka potentially $32,000. We'll see. It's an interesting thought. Again, I just like to bring up That because it's worth keeping in mind that with all the crazy going on in the world, that we could still see lots of selling. Grayscale can start selling more at any second. They still have 500,000 Bitcoin. That creates a new narrative where they're dumping and all this stuff. And then Silk Road Bitcoin hits, and then the Mt. Gox Bitcoin hits. Everyone starts freaking out, man. Right? Just because we've been up positive in the past few days and the technicals are looking very interesting right now. They're also at a very critical level where they need to step up and see a bit more momentum with volume behind it to say, hey, you know what? Maybe the worst is over for right now. Right now, we're retesting all these very, very critical areas and could get denied rather easily there. So it's a very important place to watch out for. Okay. Now let's talk about today's sponsor, which is CoinLedger. Now, look, guys, it's tax season. Tax season's coming up. And I know everybody's favorite time of the year, right? But look, if you're doing crypto, you got to make sure you're doing your taxes right. And this is really going to help you with it. They have a free portfolio tracker. They have an official partnership with TurboTax. You can just export it out to there. They're actually available in multiple jurisdictions around the world, whether you're in the USA or the UK, New Zealand, whatever. They got 30 or so jurisdictions covered. It's pretty damn awesome stuff. They're used by more than 500,000 investors. That's pretty damn awesome. So what you do, you connect your wallets. It'll automatically calculate the gains, the losses, and the income in your home fiat currency for free, which is pretty damn cool, right? Now, this is completely free to use. The only time you pay is when you actually download your tax reports to send off to your accountants or whatever. They support DeFi. They support NFTs, which is pretty damn cool. They integrate with over 500 wallets, exchanges, and blockchains, making it pretty damn easy to import all of your historical transactions over to the platform, which is pretty damn awesome. If you want to get signed up to CoinLedger, there's a link down below in the description. Help make your taxes easy this season and check them out. Okay. Thanks again to CoinLedger for sponsoring today's live stream. Great service, guys. Great piece of software to check out if you haven't checked it out yet. So let's move on. I want to talk about this. Virtual Bacon, had him on the other day. Dennis, cool cat. Go watch the interview if you haven't yet. He said 40K is the new 10K. 2020 is repeating. Don't mess it up this time. Now, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? Okay. This is the chart from 2020. In case you weren't around back then, it was an interesting year. We had this struggle all year. There was the pandemic sell-off, by the way. Is this going to be the Iran sell-off in 2024? I hope not. We just don't need to do that. Come on, crazy people running the world. Stop bombing each other. Just cut it out. We're all trying to make money on this Bitcoin bull run, man. Just chill out, guys. Anyway, we had this real struggle during the year around 40K. We kept trying to get above it, had some pumps above it, come back down. It was a bit of a year like that. Now, is 40K the new 10K? Remains to be seen. Maybe it's 45K. That's the new 10K. But there will be this important price level. We're going to struggle for a while to really get above it, unless we really just see that spot volume coming in from all the Bitcoin buys and it just pumps us way crazier than we think it's going to. But still, pretty damn cool idea if we do see the year playing out like that. Like, I wouldn't actually mind some sideways price action for a few months. Now, if you saw the video the other day as well, based on previous market cycles, you have 9 months left approximately to accumulate at reasonable prices. That's before the Bitcoin halving, before we cross over the previous all-time high and start hitting new highs for Bitcoin. And then the rest of the market, of course, follows up from thereafter. But you got about maybe 9 months, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. After that, it doesn't really make much more sense to be buying, in my opinion, based on, of course, evidence from historical analysis. But yeah, we'll see. Be interesting if we do see a lot of sideways action and all that during the year. I liked this sentiment here as well, by the way. This is from a guy named Nally. He says, you're telling me that 2024 is the first year in existence that $1 trillion TradFi institutions will market crypto. It's the year of the Bitcoin halving, the year where billions of dollars of real world assets are going to start flowing on chain, and the year that stablecoins likely reach trillions in supply. And you're not giga bullish. The money is coming. And in more ways than one, because check this chart out. This is the global liquidity index. This is from Mike Ippolito over Blockworks. Anyway, he said that maybe this is the real reason crypto has 4-year cycles, because it has to do with global liquidity cycles, as we've discussed in great detail before. It's also very interesting how well the Bitcoin halving cycles have generally lined up with this. Maybe it's all really this easy. There's 4-year liquidity cycles, and you just sell the top of the liquidity cycle, rebuy the bottom of the liquidity cycle, and things start trending back up, and just repeat and repeat and repeat till you're dead. Pass on intergenerational wealth, and they'll make a sweet tombstone for you. My dad made intergenerational wealth for the family. Sweet. I guess. Anyway, we're currently trending up for global liquidity, which means it's likely the start of a new major cycle. And even if there is some kind of scary war situation, might just mean they print more money. Could ironically and sadly, depressingly, be quite bullish for markets. After, of course, the initial like, it's a war, everything's gonna be bad. And like, actually, bump it all. Turn the money printers on, give liquidity checks to people, blah. There's that option too. Hey, this is a big one out of Avalanche. Ava Labs outlines scaling solution VRIX and plan for Avalanche to reach 100,000 transactions per second. Yo, Avalanche is not quitting. Avalanche is not quitting at all. Avalanche is here. Avalanche wants a piece of the pie. These guys, if you count this along with their subnet infrastructure, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Don't fade Avalanche. Can we just start getting some nice airdrops over on Avalanche for Avalanche stakers? That would be nice. That'd be nice, Avalanche. And that, be just extra little cherry on top for my Avalanche bags. I'd love it. Anyway, this is pretty cool because this really makes Avalanche super competitive with all these hot new fandangoed blockchains like Solana or Aptos or Sui or Say or anything else that's coming out this year. And again, makes Ethereum feel like an old hat, man. To pay $10, $20, $30, $50 fees sometimes. Haven't had to do that in a few days, to be fair, but still, Ethereum, come on, man. I guess it's all layer 2 these days for Ethereum. Ethereum just going to slowly become this layer 1 blockchain that doesn't really see a lot of use beyond big whale games. All the stuff will either go to layer 2 or to other layer 1 blockchains that are more capable in of themselves to deliver a better user experience, like Solana, which is pretty damn pleasurable to use. Almost instant transaction finality. Fees cost like a penny. Sounds pretty good. Wonder where retail is going to go. The place where they pay us 1 penny for a transaction or $50 for a transaction. Just a thought. Just a thought. Now let's talk about Solana, by the way. Over the past 7 days, Solana has processed 37% of the stablecoin transfer volume, $112 billion in volume. That's more than Ethereum or Tron, the traditional leaders in this category. Things are a-changing. Slowly but surely, people are really starting to pay attention to what Solana is doing. Money is moving to Solana, and that's, of course, the real thing to watch out for. It's one thing for people to say, oh, Solana this, Solana that. Yeah. Where's the money going? Show me the money, Lebowski. This is it. The money is moving. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Solana daily active addresses, flip Bitcoin, pump past 1 million. Now that, to be fair, is largely because of people claiming the when meme coin, which I think you still have a few hours. If you're listening to the live stream, I think you still have a few hours. So if you've used the Jupiter exchange over on Solana, you probably have like a $50, $60, $70 airdrop of when coins waiting for you. But you have to claim them. You only have a few hours left. If you're rewatching this later, it's probably too late. I think at the time of our live stream, we had like 3 hours left or something to claim. So go check it out if you're watching this live, and then come back here and keep watching the stream. But yeah, Solana, man, things are happening. And of course, everybody's getting very excited about this, the Jupiter exchange airdrop. 3 days left. They're doing the drop on the 31st. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. Jupiter exchange been pumping like crazy recently, actually flipping Uniswap V3 in 24-hour DEX volume. Now, to be fair, that's just Ethereum Uniswap V3, okay? If you break down everything going on in the Uniswap universe, there's Uniswap V2, there's Uniswap V whatevers on Arbitrum and Polygon, and altogether Uniswap's doing $1 billion plus a day in volume. So there's that, okay? But still, as an independent entity, Jupiter's at number 1, which is pretty big. which is pretty big. Now, what's interesting is that there's going to be ongoing airdrops, apparently. So this is a screenshot of what Mao, the guy behind Jupiter, said everywhere there's going to be a Jupiary, so a Jupiter airdrop in January. 10% of the coins set aside for the airdrop will be released to users. There'll be a cutoff in November, distribution January 31st. That's for like the next 8 years. So if you are just continually using the Jupiter exchange for the next 8 years, you're going to keep getting airdrops. That's cool. I dig it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Now, here's some interesting ideas. Uniswap, the biggest DEX on Ethereum, $22 billion market cap, peak bull run 2021. PancakeSwap, best centralized exchange on the BNB chain, $6 billion market cap, 21 bull run. Jupiter, of course, is the best exchange on Solana and actually one of the biggest exchanges in the world right now. Decentralized exchanges. Think about its market cap, peak bull price. And can we say this? Because here's the real kicker for Jupiter. Unlike Uniswap, the token may actually do something. Now, the Uniswap token, at the time that they airdropped it to everybody, they had promised utility, which never came. Uniswap remains just a basically useless governance token. Now, if you're really into governing the platform, you have, I guess, tens of millions of dollars that you don't really do anything with, and you'd like to go and have the occasional vote on the Uniswap governance forum, well, then, you know, that's there for you. That's an option for you. If you're a regular human being who doesn't want to do dumb shit like that, then guess what? The Uniswap token, really not that great of a bargain right now because it doesn't really do anything. Holding it is kind of useless. Unlike, for example, Trader Joe. Trader Joe tokens, you get paid money. I love it. You stake your tokens, you get real yield, paid out in USDC. That's attractive. That's hot. I love it. Jupiter is going to be doing something similar. Now, here's the thing. There will be fee sharing. It has been said by Mr. Meow. He said once they 10x their user base, at least, then they're going to flip on the fee sharing switch. Of course, they want to make sure that the system's really good and that they've adequately capitalized themselves, all that kind of stuff. Okay, sure. I get it. That's fine. That's fine. I get it. There's also going to be a launch pad coming up. Launch pads are massive. We've seen launch pads already getting a lot of attention. So, yeah, people boom, like I said, yeah, no rev share till 10x, man. No rev share till 10x. There'll also be a potential, this is potential stuff, potential fee reduction on the perpetual swaps exchange. So if you haven't used Jupiter, by the way, it's got great features. Not only can you do the standard swap stuff you do on Uniswap, they also have a perpetual decentralized exchange where you can do leverage trading. They have a DCA feature, which is actually super cool, and I actually use it quite a bit to acquire positions, especially in like lower cap coins and stuff like that. And look, hey guys, just to be clear, you know, I don't actually have any Jupiter tokens yet. Nobody does, and Jupiter's not paying me to talk about them or anything. But I think it is an interesting opportunity here, and I will probably be buying a lot when it comes out to start trading. I think you'll see this initial first couple hour pump, probably a bit of suppressed price action as airdrop farmers dump their airdrops, because that's what a lot of people do. And then there will be the opportunity to potentially get a nice little bag acquired. It's my kind of plan at the moment. And then ride that up, because if Uniswap could get to 22 billion with no utility, then what happens when you have a coin like Jupiter, which is already one of the most used decentralized exchanges in the world, which is actually a pleasure to use because it's so cheap and easy to use on Solana, has great features, has a perpetual swaps exchange, will at some point in the future, promised, fingers crossed, hopefully, share fees with token stakers, has a launch pad coming, has actual use cases for the token, unlike Uniswap. I see potential there. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I feel there's potential there. So, yeah. We'll be watching that one. I'll keep you updated on it. The claim for the airdrop comes up on the 31st. So if you've used the Jupiter exchange, you're probably going to have some money waiting for you. I'm not going to sell my airdrop. In fact, I'm going to buy more, just to make that clear. Obviously, guys, investing in cryptocurrency is risky. Just because I'm doing something doesn't mean you should do it. You're probably going to lose all your money in crypto. That's the way this market is. Okay, be very careful out there. Seriously, guys, if you want to see a full risk statement, down below in the description, or if you want to see a full disclosure of all the cryptocurrencies that I own, all my venture investments, all my conflicts of interest, all things I'm affiliates for, et cetera, et cetera. Again, you'll find that down below in the description or in the pinned tweet on X. Okay, so let's do it, guys. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Yeah. Let's do it. Let us open the floor to a nice civil discussion on cryptocurrencies. What would you like to talk about today? So great question here to start off from Pew Boom. I love it. So how do you determine a good price fair value for a new coin? Yes, I'm talking about Jupe. It's going to be 75 cents in futures already, 1.7 billion circulating supply for the first year. It's really, really hard to determine a good fair price value because the market doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. What the price should be and what the price is gets determined by hype, narrative, all this sort of stuff. I mean, if the market was fair, Uniswap would be worth nothing. Well, not nothing, but very, very little. It certainly shouldn't have a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Whereas something like Trader Joe should probably be worth a lot more. Okay? My opinion, of course. Now, how do we have it do a fair price for that? I really don't know. And I'm just going to honestly dollar cost average in, or maybe just buy a fat stack. And like, I look at it like this. If it comes out and it's $500 million market cap, or it's going to be $1 billion market cap, I feel like there's opportunity there. I feel like even at that level, you could still see this thing go up quite a bit. Again, not financial advice, can't tell you guys what to do. I'm just looking at my own sort of thoughts on the process. I would really like to see it come out around like a $500 million valuation, because I feel there's a lot of upside from there. Like getting up to like a $10 billion valuation from $500 million feels a lot more attainable versus getting to 20 billion from a 1 billion market cap. Has that 20x potential. So we'll see. But yeah, great question. I don't have a good answer for that. It's hard to determine the fair value for new coins, especially when we're pricing it in based on future potential, like the revenue sharing. If they ever turn it on, Uniswap never did because they got scared. But if they turn on the revenue sharing stuff, then yeah, man, holy cow. Imagine having revenue share from one of the biggest exchanges in the on-chain. That could be a money printer for years and years to come. Might even be not worth selling during the bear market. I don't know. No, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, anyway, thoughts. Okay, so Lol says, how much do you think Sol's going to hit after the airdrop? It's always interesting. When you see big stimuluses like this on chain, you will see other assets pump. Solana ecosystem coins will have a move because people will take their profits on the Jupiter airdrop, put it back into the main Sol asset, take that, put it into staking, take that, put it into DeFi, go around in circles like that. By the way, there's a restaking protocol coming to Solana pretty soon. I think it's called Picasso. Now, don't go ape blindly. Haven't really done a lot of research on this yet, but there will be a restaking protocol coming for Solana, which is, going to build a nice little house of cards on Solana, just like Ethereum is building right now. Bear market's going to be brutal, guys. It's going to be a crazy bear market when it comes, but it's a long way away, okay? Buckstown X, do you think Chainlink will expand staking in the years to come as their earnings increase? Yeah, we'll definitely see more Chainlink staking become available over time, but might be hard to get into. We saw last time it didn't even become available to the general public. It was only for people who had already been staking and people who were sort of on the early wait list. That was it. There was no general access for it. It just filled out like instantaneously. So it'll be hard. It'll be hard to get into Chainlink staking, but that's okay. You know what? Screw it, man. Don't need to stake my Chainlink. I just need $140 Chainlink. That's all I need. $140 Chainlink. I'll be fine. Don't need to stake it. That's all good. That's all good. It's Terrace says, I mean, to be fair to Uniswap, almost everything is built off it, and they were the ones who started the airdrop craze. Someone still has to claim from. Absolutely. Look, no hate on Uniswap. I use Uniswap all the time. I just think their token's kind of garbage. That's all. I love it. I mean, as a product, it's very useful. I've used it lots. And it's, of course, more pleasurable to use not on the Ethereum main chain. There's still all kinds of crap that gets released on Ethereum main chain for some reason, because there's a lot of liquidity over there, I guess. And anyway, I digress. But yeah, hats off to Uniswap team, man. Don't take my comments on Uniswap as like, Uniswap's totally crap. No, it's just the token's not very good. The token economics are not good. And that's not necessarily Uniswap's fault. I think they're just scared of the SEC, because once you turn on the rev share switch, the SEC is going to start looking at you, aren't they? If you're a US-based team like the Uniswap team is. Anyway, better for people like the Jupiter team, who are not based in a totalitarian dictatorship in terms of the SEC policies, guys. Come on, not the rest of the country. But anyway, in terms of the way the SEC treats people, it's crazy. Thankfully, courts have been reining them with some of the crypto stuff recently, but the fact that Americans aren't allowed to get into like pre-IPO stocks without being an accredited investor, or that you're not allowed to get airdrops these days because you might be a security, like, it's just so dumb. You can't trade futures. Oh, you can go down to the local casino, or you can go down and get some lottery tickets and gamble your entire life savings away, and nobody's going to stop you, because that is the approved of method to lose your money, because they know the odds are against you. You have a 99.9% chance of losing everything, versus if you go and actually start investing in stuff like pre-IPO stocks or getting airdrops or whatever else, you have a higher chance of winning. And they don't like that. They don't want you guys winning. The SEC is not there to protect you. It's there to protect Wall Street. Getting off topic here, but yeah. Again, hats off to Uniswap. You're right. They're one of their airdrop was one of the first big ones ever to come out, and it would absolutely change the game and the way people start doing things in crypto. Okay. Let's quit ranting. Let's keep going on here. Let's find another great question. Dark Soldier, Lark, I know you're looking to sell most of your bags. We've talked about that. In case you've missed any of those videos, yes, I'll be selling all the altcoins, maybe a few of the Bitcoin. Have an emotional problem there, but anyway, we'll see. We'll get into altcoins again after this bull run happens. 100%. In the depths of the bear market, I will rebuy altcoin bags. 100%. 100% I will. Why not? Do it all again. Next time, man. Run it up. Take profits. Walk away. Take 20% of that money and just wait. Wait and rebuy. Keep doing it again for, I don't know. It's all pretty exhausting, isn't it? Just make a few $100 million and walk away, Lark. That's the plan. Hey, we'll see how we go this cycle. Anyway. Yeah. Realistically, keep it real. When I feel like the market's getting pretty damn frothy, I'm going to start laddering out. I'm going to start taking money. And look, there's going to be different coins that I take profits on even before like market peak, right? Just to keep the portfolio clean, to keep liquidity, all these kind of things. Okay. Not every coin has to be rode all the way up to the peak of the market top. You can move things around, reinvest in different bags, tighten your portfolio, all this kind of stuff. Okay. But yeah, once I largely exit the market, I'm not buying anything for a while. I'm probably going to have 6 to 12 months where I don't buy almost anything. Look, there's always going to be some kind of opportunity, right? Maybe there's some new private market deal that seems super, super attractive. But even then, like, I probably won't be buying any private market deals either, because it's just the risk reward becomes so bad at that time. Speaking from previous experience, by the way. So I think it's going to be a period where you just take your cash and run, and you don't look at the market. Well, I mean, I will look at the market. You know, we're going to still be here. We're still putting out newsletters, making videos, watching the train wreck unfold. But I don't know. I've really been tempted. I feel like it might take off 6 months or something this time. We'll see how we go. Yeah. Good question. Tech news. I like the way you spell news. KNEWZ. When do you think the ZK Sync airdrop will be? No idea. Absolutely no idea. They're keeping it pretty tight-lipped about when that airdrop is actually going to be. We'll see. Until then, I'm going to keep doing stuff on ZK Sync. I'm going to keep bridging money back and forth, using an Orbiter Finance. Like, there's all these little things you can do to try and qualify for lots of different airdrops. You know, use Orbiter Finance, use Layer 0, move ETH back and forth between Linea and ZK Sync and Scroll. Something's going to give me an airdrop at some point. Come on. Okay. We're up to, let's find 1 or 2 more good questions here. Then we're gonna finish up for today. I like DEX exchanges. Yeah, man. DEX is where it's at. People Pooping 2 says I bailed out of Matic for more Sol alts. Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. DC378 says it can be overwhelming researching all the new coins. Do you focus on certain sectors to look into? What's your typical strategy? Yeah, absolutely. Look, I do dabble a bit. Got like some real world asset plays, for example. But for the most part, if you look at my portfolio, again, you can find the link to that in the description of current holds and my venture investments. But look where I put my venture investments. I put it into areas largely that I'm sort of more comfortable in because I know everything's going to go up. No sector is going to so dramatically outperform like crazy that it's going to just blow everything else away. Everything's going to kind of go up approximately together. Some things a little more, some coins a little more than others, whatever. If you look at the average, you're going to do pretty well. So my main focus, gaming, DeFi, blockchains, just like that. Not necessarily in that order, but gaming, I think, is going to be huge. It's something that's really easy, I think, for the average person to connect with. Oh, that game is cool. Oh, I like playing that game. Oh, it has a token. Great. Token of the moon. Then there's other stuff. The DeFi. I like DeFi. I like playing around with different decentralized exchanges. Stuff I actually use a lot personally. Lending markets, all this kind of stuff. So, yeah. That's one thing. And then, blockchains. New blockchains have a history of doing pretty well in the market. And there's way too many blockchains, guys. Let's keep it fair. There's way too many blockchains. The vast majority of them are never going to do hardly anything. They're never going to get enough users. They're never going to get much of anything happening on them. We're already seeing a very strong consolidation of liquidity towards top protocols. Everyone else is competing. All the new kids in the block that are coming in are competing heavily to try and tap into the market and to steal market share. Still, though, very interesting space, very competitive space. And the end game for blockchains is not necessarily done. Although when you start looking at some of the tech behind some of the stuff like Solana, for example, they're getting near the edges of technical limitations, which how do you go much beyond that? I don't even know. We need new technology. That's what we need. New technology so we can go to the edge of those technical limitations. That's what we need. Where are we up to next? Brandon, been enjoying your podcast lately. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it, man. Where are we up to? Lark only talks about old bags. Maybe we've been talking about multiple new bags. So many new bags we've been talking about. We're talking about Jupiter today. If you go and watch my video from yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday. We're talking about all kinds of new stuff, all kinds of exciting new things happening in the market, man. All kinds of exciting new things. What are we talking about? Only talking about old bags. And I feel like actually I want to clean up a few of my old bags. There's a few coins that I've got in my portfolio I've been looking at recently. I'm just like, why do I still, do I really still need to have those coins? Take the cash, put it into something different. We'll see. So, sometimes you really got to make those tougher decisions, and for your portfolio, for your sanity, and also for your gains. Mark Ford says, you think selling all your ETH by the end of this cycle is a good idea? Lol, it's going to be like selling Bitcoin in 2019. I don't think so. I mean, look, man, if Ethereum gets up to, it's all within perspective, Mark. And I know there's always going to be somebody who criticizes your decision to do something with your money. I get it. Okay. I know the whole concept of sell shaming is very, very real. And you have to understand everybody has different ideas and situations and positions and desires for what they want out of their portfolio. So look, if you are thinking of selling anything at any time, never let anybody on social media or anywhere else tell you what to do with your decisions. Okay. Always think for yourself. Always think about, what is it that I want personally? Because some numbers can always keep going up. Long term, yeah, sure, ETH's probably going to go up much more. Doesn't mean I can't rebuy my ETH position. Maybe I'll buy a different blockchain when the bear market comes and everything goes down by 90, 80, 70, 80, 90% again, because it will. Now, look, as we've discussed before, my average entry price into ETH's like $500, something like that. Most of my ETH bag is actually from like under $300 purchases. So if I sell my ETH at 10K, 12K, like I'm doing pretty okay. I'll take it. It's fine. Not a problem. So, look, You can always rebuy positions later. This is one thing I feel like a lot of people get so screwed up on the selling part, because selling is really one of the ways, really one of the only ways to make money in crypto. Now, okay, sure, you can argue, well, you can stake your Ethereum for 3% per year, and okay, riddle me this. What's going to make more money? Selling Ethereum at 10K and rebuying at 3 or 4K, or staking that whole year and making 3%? The answer is obvious. Obviously, trying to time the markets, you're not always going to get it right. And I risk being sidelined. Maybe I sell my ETH for 10K, and you know what? The super cycle happens and it goes up to 50K. Oh no, I missed out on 400% gains. What am I going to do? I don't know. I probably thinking about it was sailing around my yacht in the Mediterranean. Won't worry about it too much. I'll name my yacht Ethereum. There we go. Anyway, no, seriously, guys, seriously. Look, there's always a risk reward to selling. Okay, I'm being a bit silly here, Mark. It's a good question. There's always a risk reward to selling anything, right? Anytime you exit a position, there's always the possibility that position goes up more. There's also the possibility that it goes down. And it's probably going to do both those things in a very short period after you sell it. Depends on your goals. Again, everybody needs to think for themselves. And if you're waiting around for somebody to tell you exactly when to sell your coin or what the best exact point is going to be, exact top, whatever, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. The one thing that's going to consistently make you money in this market, when the major buy period, when the major accumulation period has ended, and you can sell coins during this time because there's going to be stuff that pops off and pumps, going to reposition, take profits, rebalance, whatever. Okay, sure. But once that period is ended, once we start going to late 2024 and into 2025, that's the time to start laddering out. Now, maybe you save and you want to try and get some of your bigger bags out, more into strong euphoria in the market. You don't have to ladder out everything, but you want to start thinking about how to pay yourself, because even the best coins in the next bear market are still going to go down 60, 70, 80%. Unless the game has really changed and we're not going to see 60, 70, 80% corrections anymore. But then I don't accept that as reality, because everybody's going, well, we're going to start trading more like the stock markets. Did you guys see the tech stocks in 2022? Come on. Facebook was down like 75%. But it can't happen to stocks, can it? Tell that to some of my stocks, man. Some of my stocks down like 80%. Like my Rivian stocks down like, I don't know, 70% or something like that. Like, come on. Come on now. Stocks can be just as volatile. Why would we think that crypto is not going to follow similar patterns when the liquidity gets rugged from the global ecosystem, as it tends to do? Remember, we discussed the 4-year liquidity cycles. When liquidity tops out in 2025 and we start seeing liquidity rug pull again, everything's going to go down the toilet. Tech stocks are going to go down the toilet. Crypto is going to go down the toilet. It's just how it is. And you can hold all your bags down to 99% or minus 70% or whatever the number is going to be. That's on you, man. I've played that game enough. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. You're awesome. I appreciate all the questions. You guys are fantastic. Very interesting stuff. I'll see you next time. Peace.